and it disgusts me that you're doing that. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Entertainment factor 10 out of 10. Holy Joe, what in the world? It is Supernanny Saturday, and this week we are watching the Mead family. So let's grab our beverages and dive in.
Ooh, you're asking for it, little guy. I'd back off. He's being an ass. We're gonna correct this before you grow any older.
No, you bully like a fathead.
You're saying that he's having an affair?
She brought her in because we had a threesome with her. I think you're stupid. That's what I think. You're a idiot. I told you not to bring that one thing up.
Can you, get them to stop yelling at each other?
What in the world did we just watch? Is this Jerry Springer? We have an older teen who's very thankful that Joe Frost is there. That says something. Then we have two parents who are constantly blaming each other about everything. It's never their fault, especially Dad. Then we find out that there's a cheating scandal in the family. He's mad that she brought it up. Joe Frost has been there for 10 minutes. The hardest part about this entire beginning scene was watching the little girl beg Joe Frost to have the yelling stop.
Is that how Austin would normally sit down and have dinner or lunch? He needs the television to keep him occupied.
Yeah, he just without the television. Without television, it just ruins his whole day.
You like it that much?
The television ruins his whole day.
Yeah.
The way that the dad blames his son for not regulating his own TV time is ridiculous. It is not a child's job to care for themselves, to regulate their TV time, to regulate when they have time for homework, to regulate when they're going to clean their room, to regulate when they're going to do homework, to regulate when they're going to take a bath. You get it. We get it, right? It's not the child's job. Well, my 7-year-old or my 11-year-old doesn't do what they need to do. That's my job to enforce those things, because if they are left to their own devices, children will eat all of the sugary, salty things. Kids will not go to sleep and watch TV all day long. This is what they will do, and I'm not going to turn to my 7 and 11-year-olds and blame them. I'm going to say, oh, I see you're having trouble with this. I'm going to help you help yourself. And then we're going to come up with a schedule.
Do you both want this?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I have a hard time forgiving all of it.
You need to think, Tara, whether I'm coming back tomorrow, moving forward as a couple who are married, or whether I'm coming back here tomorrow to help two people who have decided to no longer be committed to one another, but committed to their children.
Are we allowed to, as parents, have conflict in front of our children? Absolutely. We model to them how to resolve conflict. But if I'm really bad at resolving conflict, and the way that I resolve conflict is through yelling, that is what you are teaching your children. So I'm almost like, you tell me what you think of this. If you're bad at doing something, just don't do it in front of your kids. It's almost worse to do it in front of your kids.
Well, today's Judgment Day.
I love him. I want to rekindle things. I believe he feels that way.
Well, I think the first step you can do is to take responsibility for your part in this. Just have a quick conversation with Ashlyn. Say to her, I know how you felt about the disloyalty, but I need to also take responsibility for actually creating some of this mess too.
By the way, not only is it the next day on Supernanny that we're watching, it's the next day for me as well. Yesterday, I was in the middle of recording, and then I realized while recording that I was supposed to be doing something else. Mom brain, and my alarm is on my phone. You're on my phone right now, so I couldn't hear my alarm. It's, so we have a fresh cup of coffee. It is cold. It is cold even here in Florida. So wherever you are, I hope you are staying warm. So now she's about to apologize to her daughter, which I think is a great thing to do. It's always good to apologize to our children when we fall short, because we will fall short. I just hope that the apology isn't laced with a whole bunch of justifications, over explaining, or just a very simple apology and just, I'm gonna work on it and then prove it through actions. Less words, more actions. Because I think she's over it. She's so over this whole situation. Like I can only imagine her whole childhood has just been chaos.
As much as your dad and I have hated each other in the past, I've decided to stay with him. I know what happened with your dad and I wasn't right, and I know that affected you, and I know it made you hate your dad. And I'm sorry. Sorry you've had to go through all I am.
A genuine apology, yes. Accountability, yes. I could feel the sadness, and that made for a great apology. What was missing are actions. What are you doing, Mom, to make anything different? Some actionable items would be, we're gonna go to therapy together. If you can't afford therapy, okay, we're gonna check out this book and we're gonna read it together. We're gonna plan date nights once a week where we talk about things. We're gonna have parent meetings. What are the actionable items for your daughter to believe what's happening? Because that's what I see all over her face is like, yeah, I know you feel bad. I know you love me, but how is this gonna change? I get very frustrated with apologies when they don't include something to change things, because if you don't have a plan to change things, the same thing's just going to happen. Now we're going to sit down with Mom and Dad and see how their interaction goes.
I apologize for mentioning her name all the time because I know I put you through a lot, and I did it on purpose. I admit that. So we have a lot to work on. And I want to do that because I love you. I'm going to try to put it in the past so we can move on.
Mom once again exudes an authentic apology, but again, no action plan. She starts to break down and say, I'm going to try not to bring up her name anymore, because it sounds like what happened was the infidelity happened, she was hurt, and then she began to torture him afterward, which is very normal to do. And I wish I could tell Mom, you're kind of treating yourself like an alcoholic that's white knuckling it. Simply saying, I'm just not going to do it, isn't going to be the most effective way to help yourself. There are programs and resources for you to move past infidelity. You aren't the first couple to deal with this. You won't be the last couple to deal with this. There are specific resources for moving past infidelity if you choose to do that, and she is choosing to do that. So just saying that you're going to do it without a plan, it just feels like an empty promise. And I know that she means it, just like the person who doesn't want to drink anymore because they can't put it down. Just saying you're not going to do it, you're hurting yourself by doing that. Give yourself a plan. Look into things of how you can move past this. But she does, which I want to point out before the husband responds now, is she does say, it takes two to tango. I want us to work on it. So I'm curious to see how Dad now takes his accountability for his part, and then maybe we can come up with a plan and move forward. Let's hear Dad.
I feel like you don't try to make me happy at all,
Can you excuse me for one moment, please? David, like a word with you outside, please. You couldn't even find a bone in your body to turn around and apologise for your part in this as well.
I misunderstood what you wanted.
No, do not me, Dave. Stop thinking of your self, and it disgusts me that you're doing that. Do you hear me?
Yes, I'm asking you
then
very
if you
nicely
care, then
not
go
to-
in and show me. You see, you're a child.
Entertainment factor 10 out of 10. Holy Joe, what in the world? Should take a breath. I don't agree with acting like this, but it feels so good to watch it. That is the dark side of us humans, right? Okay, so where do I even begin? Okay, Mom takes accountability for herself. Turn to Dad. Dad has this moment. Boom, your turn, Dad. Take accountability. And he pretty much says that she doesn't treat him right, and that's why he is bitter. What? That's what you have to say? So Joe calls it out in the Joe way that she does. And she doesn't even take a breath. She just keeps going, bulldozes him. And then finally he's like, all right, I'm being treated like a child. I'm out of here. I don't blame him at all. And I don't agree with any of this, but it is entertaining. Entertainment aside, what do we really do in these situations when we've taken accountability and the person we're looking at is not taking their accountability? The power of the pause. We use it a lot here on Mommy Breakdown because this is how brains work. Everything's moving too fast. And sometimes we have to just reflect back to the other person what they're doing because they're so emotionally flooded, they don't even see it. So you've said your whole apology, you've taken your accountability, you turn to them and they're just continuing to berate you. So then you go, okay, hold on a second. I just want to catch us up to where we are. I'm truly sorry for what I did. I explained to you why I'm sorry. I've told you what I'm going to do to work on it. And I know that can't be done immediately and it's going to take time for me to prove that to you. And I understand that you're probably still very angry. And I would be too, because how I treated you was not okay. And so now what you're saying to me is what? And pause. Give them an opportunity to just recenter themselves. And more times than not, the person's going to, because we've all slowed down. The worst kinds of arguments, you're just arguing over each other and everybody just keeps going.
I love you, man. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. You know, we have 4 kids and, you know, we need to be together. I can't do it without you.
I need you to be close to me and listen to me and communicate and love and laugh.
Okay, the pair of you, so you hereby commit to 6 individual 1-hour therapy sessions with a counsellor. So here is our first step.
I'm not perfect.
Nobody is.
Whatever I can.
Nobody is.
I'm so happy. Did you see me cheering in the corner? A woman after my own heart when she whips out that marriage commitment and the parents sign it and then they're offered counseling. Not just 1 session, 6 individual sessions, which I'm assuming the show is paying for. I love it. So often we have goals. I want to be healthier. I want to be a better parent. I want to have a better marriage. I want to start this career thing. This, that, and the other thing. And then the year rolls around and we're looking at the same dang situation. And then we beat ourselves up. It's like, hold on. You just didn't have a plan. There was no plan. You had a wish. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And something I like to do that I continue to remind myself of is focus on your input, not your output. So let's take the goal of being healthier. I don't care what your goal is for like the amount of weight. Who cares? Even something like I want to lower my cholesterol level. Okay, but how are you going to achieve it? You can't control the cholesterol level. You can control your input. Are you getting in the exercise? Are you altering what you're eating? What is your plan for whatever it is that you're working on right now?
I think it's absolutely essential that the 3 of you really follow these rules of engagement.
And guess what we're gonna do? Put up the bunk beds and get you your bed. Yay!
3, 2, 1. High five.
Oh, look at how wonderful.
Day 1 and Joe is shaking things up. She implements some rules of engagement because there's so much conflict between mom and dad and the older child. The rules can help keep them focused on what to talk about, how to communicate. One of the rules that stuck out to me was no talking about the past. If we're going to move forward, no talking about the past. By having that there, by agreeing on those rules, that will facilitate the conversations to come. And then another thing that she does is she's like, what is going on in this house? Let's get it together. The toys are everywhere. So she takes all the toys that are in the house, dumps them into a big pile in the backyard, gives each of the kids, the young kids, a bin, and then they go through the toys and they pick out the toys that they want. That's one way to organize toys. I will actually actually link a video I made a long time ago on how I organize toys in my home. So if you're interested in that, it's a short. Let's see what else Joe has up her sleeve.
Joe sent me and my dad out of the house. I can't remember when the last time me and my dad has done anything.
You gonna follow the rules?
Are you?
Yeah, I like rules.
What are you learning?
I'm just gonna slow down and not get so upset. You're very important to me. I want to spend more time with you. Don't you wanna, or no?
I don't know for sure if it will work, but it's probably slowly gonna get better.
The daughter and the dad are spending time together so that they can work on their relationship. The only thing I would suggest is less talking and more doing. Because if you choose to just go out to dinner together or grab an icy together, you're looking at each other and the conversation will revolve around the problems because you have nothing else to talk about yet. If instead you go bowling together, you go for a bike ride together, you go fishing together, even if you don't go anywhere and you whip out a deck of cards at home and you play war, or you play spit, you're going to build new memories with that person so that when you do sit down and talk together, it doesn't only revolve about the negative things. If you feel stale in your partnership and the only time you spend together is when you are sitting down and eating, you're only going to be able to talk about your kids, your job, your past. You have no new memories with that person.
This is beautiful. There we go. How about that? How very generous. Thank you very much. Give me some love. Give me some kisses, because I gotta go now. Bye-bye, darling. Bye-bye.
Peyton.
Take care of yourself, okay?
Ashlyn, okay?
Get yourself together.
Hey, big man, give me a hug. Okay, guys.
During the rest of the episode, they continue to work on solving these problems with the TV. It's not pacifying the children with the TV, allowing them to be upset, but still holding those boundaries. Another thing is they go and they do events as a family. They go out together. They build new memories. Mom and dad go to the counseling. You see a little bit of that. There is a scene where the older daughter, she starts to tell the younger daughter that she shouldn't be eating cake because she's going to be fat. Then the father gets upset at how she's talking to the younger daughter. So they work through that. There's some good scenes that I suggest I link the full episode in the description below, but I'd love to see where the Mead family is now. Let's check it out. Here is Mom's Facebook. It appears that she does something called spirit photography. This picture is from 2022. It says, "It's an awesome day at Universal Studios Hollywood." And then when you look at the comments, there is a comment that says, "Where is Dave?" And then Mom responds, "Mars," usually, and it's laughed at. So I'm not sure if Mom and Dad are still together, but it appears so, at least from 2022 with the joke. Then in 2024, she posted some graduation photos. "I love my family," she writes as the caption. 2025 graduate. Next up is David's profile, which is Dad. He only has one photo, which is here from 2023 on a horse. Ashlyn, the oldest daughter. This is from 2023, more from 2023. And this one is from 2024. Last up, I was able to find Peyton, which was one of the younger children. You can even see what she looked like here when we were watching it together. We even have Grandma writing some comments here. An updated photo. It looks like she sang at her graduation in 2024. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit the subscribe and I'll see you next week. Bye.